Hey guys. Hi, Virgos. Welcome back. All right, so I'm going to jump to a reading that'll be quite different. It's going to be very abstract, and I will be kind of like playing around with more abstract readings all week. So you might love them, you might hate them, whatever it is, totally fine. I just like to mix things up and do things differently. So I'm going to go quiet on you for just a moment and see what pops into my mind. And then whenever I feel so compelled, I will start pulling from this deck. I'm only going to be reading out of this deck in the upright, no matter what orientation they fall in. And it's all very much, this is all about symbolism. It's one of my favorite things to think about. And of course, what I do is just the art of storytelling through symbols. So have fun with it if there's some message in this that is inspirational to you. Otherwise, just let it fly. All right, here I go. I'm going to be quiet for just a moment. It's someone is swimming. Someone is swimming in water, and I see them. I feel it even. It's and it's weird because it transforms from swimming in water to like flying, like as if instead of feeling water now you feel kind of like the graze of the wind, above and around and over the whole body. So it goes from feeling of water to the feeling of wind. Someone, I don't know if there's what the water is necessarily signifying, if it's supposed to be emotions that someone is freeing themselves from. All of this has a huge sense of peace and cleanliness. Even like it's like I can feel going from being submerged in water and then the wind takes over and it's a new sensation, but it's a sensation where it's like it's drying the beads of water off of someone as they are going through the air now. It's daytime, it's light blue sky, very little tiny white fluffy clouds that somebody is like flying through gently as they leave the water and go into the sky, almost like a flying fish. That's now bringing up the memory that at one point in time when we were first figuring out the different constellations and naming constellations, after the Arabs and the Greeks contributed to, the names of certain stars and the names of constellations. Then when we got into the 1800s, it became like almost a race, and people wanted to go out and sail around and see different parts of the world and name other different constellations that they came across in different parts of the world. And there was one that depicted a flying fish, and it was because some explorers, this predates the 1800s. I think it's like 1500s, but where they were in the southern hemisphere, they were, on the south of the equator, they were able to see flying fish, and that made its way into a constellation because they were so amazed. These sailors were so amazed to see this. And they were on an expedition precisely to map out the stars of the southern hemisphere. And for the life of me, I can't remember who it was who saw that and discovered that. But in any case, so now we have some connection from the water to the sky. I don't know if that makes any sense to anyone. Maybe it's a water sign combining with an air sign, or changing from being invested in a water sign and now being invested in an air sign. I don't know, but let's see. We've got a Page of Cups. We've got the Fool card. We've got the Page of Wands. We've got Two of Swords. Now, as I said at the beginning, I'm not reading anything other than uprights, just because there's so much imagery already. I don't need to do a reversal, not with this. But this did come out in the reverse. So with this Page of Cups, it's funny because someone is actually looking up at the sky, like waiting for something to fall. But the Page of Cups is, obviously it is like a cup. It's normally something that we would offer. But in this case, somebody's almost like blocking something, looking up to the sky, protruding out of their own, well, not out of their kneecap, but balanced on their kneecap. Somebody is steadying an egg. It's there's something delicate here, very delicate. This egg balanced under his fingertip and on his knee. To me, this is almost like it's almost like somebody is like wanting to take a knee. This could be an offer that they think I would almost like to go down onto one knee, make that love offer, but this is too delicate. I can't do that right now because I don't know how. It's like we're awaiting something like, when is the sky going to fall and crash down on us? I'm not sure what to expect. A little bit of apprehension. There's even all these people standing on the other side of this railing watching, like, ooh, what's coming? Somebody who wants to, typically this is someone who wants to make an offer, a love offer, an apology. But there is this element here where it's like, this is a very delicate situation. And I feel as if a collection of friends knows that somebody wants to come in and try to express themselves, and everyone is waiting in anticipation to see what happens. When this offer is made, when these words are spoken, what's going to happen? Because it's going to cause a reaction. But is the sky going to fall? Is the ceiling going to, crumble? This is like, our hopes going to be crumbled? Is this person going to be buried in rubble? We've got anticipation in this card. We know that this is delicate. We know that this has to be handled delicately. With the Fool card is, it is a complete, it's an expression that comes out of us because it's been burning on our mind. It's been something that has been burning in someone's mind, almost making them go crazy. We've got like a little element. I almost look at that. It reminds me of like a Van Gogh. There's, like someone has this fit of like, I have to do this. I can't wait any longer. Is it walking into the unknown territory? Yes, absolutely. Do I want to be the adventurer here? Well, I don't have a choice not to. I don't know how it's going to work out. There's so many unknowns. Look at all these pyramids. Those are mountains to climb, but those are also mysteries to solve. Starting this journey, saying what I want to say, is going to alter whatever the path is that I take. And I'm aware of that. This is just the beginning. This little proclamation, this little offer, where I don't know what someone's going to react. I don't know what they're going to say in response. It's going to be the first step in a big journey of unknown. Everything is unknown for me. And I feel like this is, especially because we went from somebody swimming to somebody in the sky, and now this person who wants to make an offer, they're down here on earth looking up the person that I've been describing that was like flying through the air. I feel as if someone has freed themselves from some kind of emotions and is now very liberated, very much single perhaps. And this is an individual who wants to see, like, hey, would you come down here and start something with me, because I want to make an offer to you. I know this is delicate. I know I should handle this carefully. And if I do this is a sincere offer, whatever this is. I feel like this is someone wants to make an offer to an individual who is very, very footloose and fancy free, very single, someone who is not in their emotions at all. And this person is trying to basically see, can I ground this person? Can I bring them back to me? Will I be able to call out to them and have them even hear me? Will they come down so that I can make this offer? Someone is, I don't want to say apprehensive necessarily, but the individual who's flying around that I saw in my imagery is single and carefree. They're not looking for somebody to ask them to come settle back down. And yet this individual wants to. So this is a different person, the person who wants to make an offer to the individual that in my mind is flying around in the sky. Very different. Then we have that Page of Wands and that Two of Swords. The Page of Wands here, this is, I feel like this is the reaction. So if somebody is saying, hey, I'd like to talk to you. Will you sit down with me? Will you meet with me? I need to tell you that I want to make an offer to you. I know that this would be the first step in a completely different adventure for both of us, but this is a sincere offer and I want to have this adventure with you. The response to that seems to be, someone's mind is kind of, number one, all over the place. The response is, oh my God, what would that mean? You see the painter's palette that's attached to his head, almost like a thought bubble. What landscape would we create together? I could see it being kind of garish and nightmarish and confusing. We see like half painted faces. We see, just kind of all sorts of whimsical shapes and things that don't necessarily make sense. We see pets. We see, everything is a jumbled mess in someone's mind. But this is a spark. It's a spark of creativity. It's a spark of what would that be like? I feel like someone's reaction is to feel confused, and yet there is an interest in this. So this kind of an offer, this could be, if we are talking about somebody who is set themselves free from emotional, difficulties and is just flying high and doing their own thing in life, whoever wants to make an offer to this person and like basically bring them into their world, have them, they're asking this person, hey, will you quit flying around in the sky and will you come join me? I want to make an offer to you. It would change your life. It would change my life. There aren't hard and fast rules about what would happen, but whoever this is who wants to make the offer, this has been burning on their mind. They can't get this out of their head, so they got to get it off their chest. If they make that offer, this could be an offer of like, hey, will you take this adventure with me? This could be a job offer. This could be someone who has some kind of a plan, a creative endeavor, like, hey, will you join me in this? But because we have the egg on the knee, to me, this is still talking about, it's delicate, but somebody would like to go down on one knee. They'd like to, I feel like it's a marriage proposal, which is a very, very, very big thing. So we come in, no wonder everybody is back there nervous. Like, people know that this person's about to make this offer, and it seems like it comes out of nowhere, and it comes at a time when the last thing that somebody is expecting is that, because whoever is getting that offer, they're the ones flying around up in the sky. They're single. They're free as a bird. Yet somebody is trying to say, you don't have to, like, the offer that I'm making, I'm not trying to ground you. You notice how the boot is like on this walking stick up in the sky. Somebody's saying, I'm not trying to take away your freedoms. I would like us to adventure together. And it is getting that other person to think about things. Like, there's a spark of interest here for sure. It's very, I feel like because this is such an unexpected thing to have happen, it's lots of colors, lots of disjointed thoughts, but we have that burning flame here. We have a torch that is lit. With the Two of Swords, somebody is very interested, very interested. We have, okay, so it's all about time right now. We have a metronome with a little eyeball on it, and this woman's back, it has frets on it. I shouldn't call it frets. I'm sorry. I've used the wrong word. The fret is on an instrument is where you hold on a stringed instrument, right? That's where you actually press down to make the music when you hold the wires down, huh? Her back looks like it's part of a violin, some stringed instrument. So she is the source of music, and there is a rhythm here, and this is like, well, what will be selected? What will she choose? There's a snail floating up in the sky with a hand coming out of it. She's thinking about things and slowly wanting to reach for something. It's the fact that she is representing the melody, and this is her counterpart. Is this what she wants to be? Does she want to be in someone's rhythm, in harmony with them? A metronome keeps a tempo, but she is the instrument. So it is like this could be a divine union. This is not so much confusion about what to choose. It's more, the question is that the right tempo for me to sing my music? I feel like this is very much, the masculine and the feminine. Is this my harmonious partner? Do I want to make music for this person, with this person? Are we in sync? Do we hear the same tempo? Or are we always, I don't want to have to run faster or, play faster than what they want me to, or be forced to go at a slower pace either. This is like, I need to calm my mind and I need to slowly decide what I want. But the big question is this the right pace relationship for me? Does this person's heartbeat match mine? Are we going to have a harmonious life together? Will we make music or will we make noise? Are we going to yell at each other a ton, or are we actually going to find a way to be in symphony with each other? It's really, the way I see this, it's asking, is this my divine counterpart? And I have to slow myself down and I have to really think about this. There's still clouds in the sky. There's an unknown right over the metronome. She is not entirely sure, is that my person? To see this, it be the snail's spiral here. I just feel like she wants to know the answer quickly, but it's almost like she can't know the answer until she just simply gets involved in this and gives it a shot. That's how I feel. It's almost like they won't know if they're the right match until they grow into each other and they find that harmony. And that takes, like, you basically have to invest in it before you're going to know if it fits. I need to go quiet again and see if anything else comes up, because I keep seeing a shoe in my head, a shoe that's like, it's like a leather shoe and it's being stretched on one of the shoe horns, or I don't know if they're called shoe horns. It's whatever the thing is that stretches a shoe so that it fits without, rubbing in the wrong spots. It's not like a shoe is the wrong size. It's just that to get it conformed to your individual foot, that takes time. And that's what I'm seeing, is somebody stretching a leather shoe to where it really fits beautifully. And it seems like that awareness that the stretching has to happen for this to fit perfectly. That's the thing, though. There's still the question mark of, is this made of good enough quality leather that it can stretch? Or will trying to stretch it just kind of like ruin its elasticity or ruin its integrity, I feel like that's where the question mark is. Okay, I need another card. Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is, oh my goodness. This is not a situation where you can make decisions without using the heart. So if we're going to hold back and say, I don't know, that's the head talking. And the head is, they look kind of like they would be people, but they're really not, right? It's the illusion of a person here. We can't make decisions without using all the pieces of what makes us human. What makes us human is the fact that we have the indescribable thing called love, the thing that makes our heart make decisions that even our head doesn't understand, but we just go, but I feel it's right. I can look on paper and it doesn't add up, but I feel like it's right. The problem here is that somebody is getting themselves really trapped, overthinking things, wanting to control their instinct too much. That doesn't work. So that's making somebody hold back. And I feel like it's really twisting up their gut. All I see here is like, this looks like intestines to me, and this looks like, really, that to me, that looks like the aorta, a whole bunch of different aortas or vessels coming off of a heart, not necessarily just aorta, but this is kind of a dreamscape, but I feel like the heart and the gut is what we see all around. But what's prominent and dominant in this is the big old mind, that this person who is just, their mind is confusing things because they're not able to go with what their gut instinct is saying. So they wind up, this is why somebody holds back. It's because the logical mind keeps getting in the way. Now, I'm not sure whose logical mind is getting so much in the way. I believe it's the person who's going to be receiving the offer. The Knight of Wands. This Knight of Wands is it's interesting because so the Knight of Wands is usually a card of like passion, and we run one direction to go seek passion, and then we go in another direction, and we're not sure, so we kind of zip all over the place. But this Knight of Wands has, like, instead of passion, what we're seeing is something is made of stone. And everything is a little bit misplaced. We've got a head on a knee. We've got body parts in the wrong locations. This is the reason somebody has been all over the place, is because they've lived their life in segments. They've looked for satisfaction one piece at a time. It would be like if you said, oh, I love cake. And somebody says, oh, that's wonderful. I'm going to make you a cake. And then they bring out the ingredients one at a time, and they give you some raw egg, and then they give you some, granulated sugar, and they give you, and you're looking at it going, okay, you didn't put this together. This isn't a cake that you've just given me. And they're like, yeah, I gave you everything for the cake. Well, but you didn't make the cake. You didn't bake it. And so you're not going to have any enjoyment when you keep trying to, even though you have all the ingredients, you didn't put it together. You didn't make it into something yet. Someone was trying to take different pieces of things and put it together. And maybe they did that with different individuals. It was like, oh, well, this person makes me happy for this reason. This person fulfills this part of me. And they might, without realizing it, what they were trying to do was find themselves. And it took them quite a while. And I think that somebody's concern here, and the reason we have that Four of Pentacles, the reason somebody is caught up in their head in a logical fashion, is because they're asking themselves, why does somebody want to get together with me now? Why now? What is it about them that they think they're whole now, and now they know what they want? I don't know if this person ever knows who they really are. And there is an interesting element here, because strategically placed and leaning against this stone statue that's so misshapen here is a whole person, but they are strategically laying, leaned back, almost like a rebirth kind of imagery here. But the question that somebody seems to have is like, is this person rebirthed? Have they figured out how to be a whole person? Did they find those pieces of themselves? Did they figure out why they were looking for answers in others? And are they finally really a whole person now who knows what they want? I feel like that is the question that keeps getting in somebody's way. That is why they keep asking, is this really my divine counterpart? Because how could my divine counterpart not have known who I was to them? Why would somebody have run around? And what if they're still just looking for another piece of themselves? So I'm feeling like in this story, what it looks like is someone is trying to capture, the Virgo's attention, and it may very well be someone that the Virgo is not sure that they are who they seem to be. That the Five of Swords here, we just keep repeating the idea of like, we have the power to cut each other to ribbons. We have the power to undo each other. We've already undone each other. And in all of the scars and all of the damage that we've already done, we are still at odds, almost in like the mental plane or the 5D realm. So we've made a lot of a mess already. And we're kind of in a place where somebody is saying, I don't want to be hurt anymore. And it's interesting because the person that walked away, the one who's this, so the feminine is actually the one who was still trying to lean toward the individual who turned their back to her. And that's where the masculine is. The masculine still actually has their back to her, but at least in the 5D realm, they turn around and they still have conflict. She is now in a defensive position. She's holding them back, and we actually have 3 swords clashing here. There has been heartbreak between these two. But what's interesting is the masculine is the one who turned their back in the 3D. And yet in the energetic sense, they're still turning around and fighting with her. But now in that energetic sense, she's the one pushing back. So they turned away in the 3D, and now she is defending herself in the energetic 5D. So we have conflict at multiple layers in this. We have conflict, whatever happened between these two, lots and lots of damage, lots and lots of, on one hand, they're like tangled up together, but continuously at odds in both the 3D and the 5D for 2 different reasons. And it's almost as if, so where her chest is, she has roses growing out of them, but her arm got tethered into their bandages. And of course, both of them have bandaged heads now. But there is an element where it's like the divine masculine was maybe very wounded and never turned around to embrace her, and she tethered herself to them. I hold on, I don't know why we have this continued conflict. If somebody, is this that the divine feminine has a new suitor coming in and they're asking themselves, could this really be someone that I would accept? Because maybe they've secretly still been waiting for this conflicting situation. I'm trying to figure out why she's defending herself against the person that she's holding on to. Why is she defending herself against the person that she doesn't want to let go of? Knight of Pentacles. And this is like a combination of a praying mantis combined with a horse. So there is an element, just even because I'm talking about it in the context of like a praying mantis, there has been a hope all along that this could work out, but there is also a fear of like getting eaten alive. There has been a hope that this kind of struggle would come to an end, that someone would basically like bring the sun, carry the sun to them. I feel like somebody wants an individual to come in like a hero. They want an individual to ride in and make it all wonderful and make it so bright and so wonderful that everything melts away. The damage that was done is forgotten. You know, if it's so bright, there's not going to be any shadows here. But there's a hope and a wish and a prayer, but there's also a fear blended in here. It's somebody feels like they have to defend themselves unless they can trust that what is being brought in, it's like they want to be rescued, is what I feel like. But to rebuild that trust, it's slow. It's really slow to rebuild trust, or to build any trust at all, or to maybe to move on to happier times. If this is somebody who is holding on to a past individual that they want to still have conflict with, they're not sure if this new individual who wants to make them an offer is somebody that they can say yes to, because they still keep hanging on to the idea of, why then did I meet this other person? Why were they even a part of my life? Am I going through a rebirth cycle? Can I let go of this situation that I had all this conflict in? Why does my mind go back and forth to this? Someone wants to make an offer, but they're in making that offer, it opens up all these worries. And these worries are very much in the cerebral, because there is an awareness in the mind that we still have conflict here. We don't really see things in the same way. I want things to get better. I want there to be trust. I want us to understand each other, but I'm afraid that we don't. I have an image of somebody making a ham sandwich right now. Like, can we be complimentary? Can we make sandwiches? Can we eat sandwiches together? You know, it's almost like, what are we putting, you know, between these two slices of bread? Is it something complimentary? Somebody is hungry for something, for sure. We have the Queen of Cups. We have the King of Swords, and we have the Eight of Pentacles. The Queen of Cups is like submerged in emotions. This is somebody who wants so much to, I feel like to have somebody who understands that and who can join them at this depth, you know, like, look, I'm down at the bottom of the ocean because that's how deep I am. I want a connection that's that deep. I want a connection that is, you know, like the blood in my veins is partly your energy inside of me, and vice versa. This is somebody who wants, they don't just want like a loving romance. They want something really profound, really deep. The King of Swords, meanwhile, is somebody who, they have so much, they have a ton of passion, but their passion, they spread outward and external into the world. So one person internalizes things that really matter, and the other person has equally as much of like a profound energy to them, but they put everything external. So the things that they see, the things that they experience, they're more in the external world. Like they want to go out and do things almost like to build a legacy, or to even be out and be seen. This person is the exact opposite. This person is, their world is made up of more of the silent, like even observational things. Like they interact with things that not everybody can. This Queen of Cups is someone who, if this is representing the Virgo, this is someone who they feel, they may be very, very empathic. They may not choose to go out and be super social, but rather they keep friends and company with things that are very important, the types of things that they seek out for, entertainment or anything in their life, may have always like deeper layers of meanings. Meanwhile, this person, by comparison, this King of Swords, everything that they do is without the emotional component. It's more of the mental, it's more of the external. So these two are at complete opposite ends of the spectrum. This person is somebody who thinks about taking actions, and this person feels everything, and this person thinks everything, if that makes sense. So it doesn't mean that they don't think about the person that they want to be with, but they also think about millions of other things. I just feel as if these two are very, very, very different from each other. So with this Eight of Pentacles, that makes sense, because it's like we'd have to find the compromise. This is somebody who's able to hover right above the water. And it's funny that I started out with the water and then something flying or someone flying, because we actually have like the ability for someone to sail on top of the water. And that would be the compromise. If the two of them work together, they could find that happy middle ground, so that basically this person who's always, kind of up in their head, they still get to interact with this queen that is submerged in the depths of things, because they're always connected. As long as they have a sailboat where they can, sail on top of the water, the two could actually have tremendous harmony together while still maintaining the fact that they are very, very different creatures. It's interesting because I understand why the metronome was such a question mark. And it's funny because we have this bird flying also leading the way. Kind of an interesting twist. I mean, to summarize this, I would just say that this is a story of two vastly different people who did not make it work in the past. And somebody thought that this is done and over. And instead, an individual is trying to come in to say, I want to make this serious. I want to do this. Yes, it'll change both of our lives. Yes, there's a ton that we don't know how it'll work. The other person reacts with saying, well, that's a lot to think about, especially when I thought this was over. I don't know that we can match. I don't understand how we would match. But as they think about it, it really gets into the logical mind, understanding why maybe in the past they didn't match, where the missing pieces were. I'm still not 100% sure about why there was all this conflict, why someone had turned their back, why they now feel like they have to protect themselves. I mean, the only way through that, of course, is this slow building of trust. But when we get down to it, we have two vastly different people that will never see eye to eye per se, but it doesn't mean that they can't be in perfect harmony together. So it's interesting. It's like two people that would be willing to put in their effort, put in their work together to make those sandwiches. All right. That was very, very abstract. I'm going to leave that where it is, and it is what it is. All right, you guys, take care. Bye.